Devil's advocates whisper in the hall, where justice wears a mask and truth begins to fall. Every thread they pull, every lie they weave, in the courtroom's dance, who's left to believe? Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight. A photograph fades where the truth once stood. Blurred lines between the bad and the good. The scales they tilt with every silver tongue, while the broken cry for a song unsung. Black robes sway like shadows on the wall. One wrong word and the mighty fall. Who's a sinner? Who's a saint? The jury's out, but the verdict's faint. Oh, the devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end. The devil's in the details, hiding in plain sight, innocent until the gavel steals the light. True crime echoes through the hollow night, fighting injustice with no end in sight.
All right. This looks a little different, doesn't it? How's the sound? Everything looking okay? All right. So, yeah, everything looks different because I'm on the road once again, and then man, is it throwing me off. This whole thing about going on road shows, boots on the ground, was something that we thought was going to be important for our channel and our show in the future, and hopefully it really will be. But it throws me off because I'm hearing people saying, hey, what happened to your long form videos, and what happened to this, and what happened to that? And I'm not in any kind of routine, because when you're out on the road and you've got flights and layovers and all of this stuff, it completely screws with a person who's a routine kind of person like myself. So anyways, I'm making the best of it as I can. I have lots of updates to share with you from Kentucky. I am in Kentucky. I won't even tell you. No, I will tell you. I'm in Lexington, Kentucky. I will be in London, Kentucky tomorrow. I have been all over Kentucky in various places for various different reasons. And I'll tell you a little bit about that as we get into it. Having said that, I'll probably let a lot of my panelists lead the discussion. That'll be something new for them, right? If I just shut the hell up and let them talk a little bit more. Mostly because I'm out of touch, and all I'm doing, I'm like a one-trick pony right now. My whole focus is all on Sabrina Atkins. And I'll tell you a little bit about that with the panel as we discuss it, because things that I thought were just rumors and maybe I was being told wrong information, we verified I've been being told very good information, which should scare the shit out of you when you hear some of the other things that I've heard. So let's get the panel up and let's get going for the evening. I'll bring on Dago first, because he's backstage in first position. What's going on tonight?
Whoa. Forget about it. How you doing there, boss man? How's everything going?
I'm doing good. I'm doing great. It took me a full day to recover from the flight. I had really horrible flights, and I was dead exhausted. And like I said on a video, I did some member-only content. I actually nodded off while driving one time, and I started to dream, and I was like, "Oh my god! Like I could have just killed somebody."
It
was
that.
bad. No, not good at all. So
I knew when I saw that we talked about that with the amount of time you had for your layover. I'm like, oh Jesus, that's gonna cause some lag for sure.
I thought I was going to be able to sleep on the plane. It did not work out so well. I mean, I think I did sleep, but it was not quality sleep in the slightest.
Sure.
So
Get
so
that.
what about you? What'd you do today? What I heard some you had some
I had
blog.
a really good show, in my opinion. I had a great show today. It was kind of educational. We looked into the Idaho 4, of course. We looked into the prosecutorial misconduct on behalf of Bill Thompson and his team. Found a Brady list that's out there that has, and I'm going to be going back into that too. How many people that are in that area are on that Brady list that should not have probably been investigating this case. I'm looking into that now. So on and so forth and stuff like that. So it was very educational. Kim joined me from Typically Unique again, and we broke down quite a bit of stuff and brought up some facts that we've all seen in this case with Bill Thompson. So very interesting.
Very interesting. Yeah. And I'm looking forward to, maybe we can talk about that as a little bit of a panel tonight. By the way, is it just me or it kind of sounds like you're kind of like gurgling something a little bit? I was like, is that a warble in your voice or am I just like insane?
Gurgle.
Yeah, I think Robin hears it too. I was hearing it a little bit too. It was really strange.
Oh, I know what happened. I hit a button and it took me into my, Jesus Christ. Is that better?
Yeah, I almost went straight up high school gutter and said you sounded like a something guzzling whatever, and I just went no.
Yeah, it was my auto tune. I hit an auto tune button on accident, so hopefully that's better.
I'm just gonna let that go. Let's get on that note, and I probably shouldn't bring her up next, but we're gonna bring Logan up next. Hey, how you doing?
Logan.
Good. How are you guys?
Living the dream.
Do I sound like I'm underwater or just Dago?
You do not. Just Dago, and I think he fixed it. He likes to play with that mixer board, and he does some weird things with his voices. So
I think I'm definitely good now. I think we're in the right path going forward. I think we got this underwater gurgling, whatever guzzling thing we're talking about.
That's beautiful. So, what is the highlight of your day today, or do you have any highlights?
Oh, just working my behind away. We did a live today, not that long ago, and just had to dispel some rumors and things that were not true, and then just some ideas and stuff. So kind of waiting for some documents to drop and some filings to happen and stuff. So
yeah.
When you say dispelling rumors for on your personal case or on one of the cases you're following, like on the Idaho 4 case?
On Idaho.
Yeah.
Some people that are making videos that are not telling truthful things, but they're stating them like fact. And, it's hard because people are out here believing the stuff, and you don't blame them because they say one truthful thing. And then, sometimes you don't know what to believe. So it's hard.
Yep.
And I don't want to be the person to have to do that, but I just don't want, especially people over here, to be hanging on to lies.
There's too many people confused already, Logan. And that's what we're trying to avoid is more. So
yeah, and it's funny. I got attacked today, and I took it personally, and I shouldn't have. Somebody again started out calling me an idiot because somebody. So I have a team, right, that makes shorts sometimes of our long form videos, and so they made a short of me mentioning how Dylan Mortensen said that they cleaned up. And that they wouldn't find any DNA from the killers because they cleaned up, right? And the officer was like, "Wait a minute, what do you mean you cleaned up? Wasn't that before this weekend?" And they're like, "Yeah." So, anyways, the short got out there with me saying Dylan admitted that they cleaned up, and this person blasted me. "You're a fucking idiot! Quit saying false information. There was no cleanup. Dylan was clearly talking about before that weekend." And I'm like, "You're not paying attention because even the officers questioned why she said, 'Hey, you're not going to find any DNA because it's a cleanup.' So maybe you should read the fucking documents and quit ripping on my ass." Anyway,
Yeah.
I was. Why do we take it so personally? I shouldn't take it. I should not take it personally.
It
No,
gets
but we do.
frustrating. Yeah,
It
you
does.
want to be able to be on the same page when you have conversations with people, and when you have somebody out there saying that Lyndon Beck said he was there 4 hours before
Thank you.
the 911 call. That's
Thank
not
you.
true. That's not even what he said.
And there was some other shit that thank you, Logan, because
Yeah.
I didn't get to approach that because I was going to go off about that. That was ridiculous.
Yeah, it's so annoying. And that's like,
and
I wasn't going to say anything before this person has done it like 10 different times with other parts of the case. And I'm like, that's not true.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I do want to get the rest of our panel up, but I think that's my problem is I hate when people start out calling me an idiot for when I feel like I know the case better than they do. And you're going to call me an idiot, tell me I don't know the facts when you are not understanding what you're even saying.
Yep.
like that's what makes me the most mad. Like you're literally ripping about something that I have to explain to you why you're wrong about what you're saying.
You know what
Problem in
sucks?
this case- Go ahead, Diggle.
Some people do that that have been in this case for a week, Lee. They'll come
I
in
know.
a week into it and they're like, "You are
Tell
wrong.
you
I just
you're
meant
an
that,
idiot."
yeah, you're done." I'm like, I've been here for 3.5 years. Sit down
Yeah.
and shut the fuck up.
Do some more research.
Too early for
We
that.
might
Sorry.
not always get it right either, but after
Yeah.
I saw like 8 videos back to back with completely false, misleading information, it's just as frustrating as reading the case file with the misleading information.
Yeah.
Now
I
you're
get it.
doing it the opposite way.
I get it. I totally get it. All right, let's. I'm with you. Let's
And
bring up
Grant.
Robin and scene. Drop the mic. Okay, let's do. Let's get Robin up, and then we'll get one up, and we'll get kicked off here. What's going on, Robin?
Hello, how does my voice sound tonight?
Okay.
Absolutely amazing.
I thought you was like that.
You don't even need a mic.
Sorry, I couldn't help it. I'm listening to Dago back there, and he's like, "Hello."
Wow.
Yeah,
Oh, now
I
you
didn't
just
even-
now StreamYard just muted her again. They just punished her for trying to be funny. Oh my god.
I forgot
What
I had
that-
auto tune on this, and I don't.
We
want
gotta-
it to ever come out.
I'm having a hard time, Robin, to get your sound back. What the hell with StreamYard? They hate you. They hate you with a passion.
I know, and I don't know why. I never did anything to StreamYard.
I don't know.
Is it an old
Well,
thing
anyway.
from back in the day, Robin? Did you and StreamYard have it out back in? school or
That's what it
something?
is. Yeah.
Maybe an
Crossed
old-
him a
Yeah.
long time ago. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's an old grudge coming back to.
Might be.
Must have.
Might be.
Some kind
All
of
right.
old grudge. I don't know.
We do need to get one up here to say his monologue. Is there anything you want to share with us as a for your highlights of your day or anything like that? Are you holding down the fort for me while I'm out of town?
Yes, sir. I'm doing my best.
Nice. All right. Well, let's bring up one. Maybe I tried to add him and then it just.
Insane.
What's
There we
going
go.
on, sir?
Everyone needs to know their role and shut their mouths.
Yes. I feel so jealous that everybody gets to do that voice and I don't get it.
Me and Dago are taking over.
Well, what's the highlight of your day today?
So my captain's classes started.
Nice.
Interesting stuff. So we already lost one person. They
Oh, like
They
somebody who
they
got
gave up.
promoted decided they said no, I'm out.
they already gave up. So we went down to 10 to 9, and tomorrow we actually have a meeting to go. We're not gonna have to present or really do anything. It's more so observing. I think the Bronx is being called down to One Police Plaza, and so we have all these things that it's basically they call it compliance stat, and we have all these rules involved with we have a federal monitor that reviews the Terry stops, which stop, question, and possible frisk for those of you who don't know what a Terry stop is, and also all the body camera things and things like that. And they grill you. They pretty much they go after you for they expect you to know a lot of information, and we're not robots, obviously, so there's going to be mistakes made and liabilities, and you need to be able to answer for those liabilities. And if you cannot, they have no problem embarrassing you. And and that's some people cannot handle that stress, I guess. So I mean, I've been to some of these meetings and stuff. Some of them can be pretty brutal sometimes, but the former positions and stuff that I have had as a lieutenant involved helping the captain prepare for some of these meetings and stuff. So I know what's involved with some of the research and things there, but there's a strong possibility after tomorrow another one or two people may decide to give up their position. So,
What happens to those
Interesting.
people? Do they go back to their old spot?
well,
Or
so getting promoted to sergeant, lieutenant, and captain, they're based on civil service exams that we've taken. So you're on a 1-year probationary period when you are newly promoted, and yeah, you can always say like, oh, I'm, this isn't for me. I want to go back to my other position, and then they would be demoted back down to lieutenant. Or you have other people. So like in my we have 9 people left. I believe it's myself and 2 other newly promoted captains. There are 3 of us who have over 20 years. So essentially, like, I could go tomorrow and after this meeting or whatever, and be like, I've had enough of this. I don't want anymore, and I could file for retirement because I've already done my 20 years. So,
Yeah.
so that
Yeah.
happens too. Some people just they want to put down, they kind of on their resume, like, yes, they were promoted to captain, and then they just retire and go off into the sunset. So,
How long have you been a lieutenant, bud?
I just short of 11 years.
Wow. Okay.
So
Nice.
I actually and I was sergeant for about 7 years. So I have more experience being a supervisor than being a regular
Right.
cop. I have about
That's why
17
I asked
years.
that.
Yeah. So
Good stuff, buddy. Good stuff.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
You got a
Ready?
monologue for us? Yeah,
I
let's do
I
it.
do. Okay.
Kick it out.
Is it good to be alive in the den on a
Oh,
Monday
yeah.
night? Right? Today's Monday.
oh
Here we
yeah.
go.
Yep.
Juliana,
is.
Jackson, and my beautiful wife. Love you guys. Tonight, we go back to a place where the mountains hold their breath. A place where coal dust settles on porch rails. Where courthouse steps echo longer than they should. Where everyone knows everyone, and no one really says what they know. This is Letcher County, Kentucky. A stretch of Appalachian earth carved by time, poverty, pride, and power. A county where loyalty runs deep, and so do secrets. And inside that quiet tension, 2 names began to circulate in whispers. Sabrina Atkins, Ben Fields. Not celebrities, not headlines in New York or Los Angeles. But in Letcher County, these names carry weight. Because when small town power collides with accusation, when reputation meets rumor, when the system is asked to investigate itself, things don't just unfold, they fracture. Tonight on Devil's Advocates, we're not here to tell you what to think, we're here to walk you through the fog. We're here to ask the questions that make people uncomfortable. What happens when influence shields behavior? What happens when allegations divide a community already stretched thin? And what happens when justice feels conditional? Letcher County is not just a backdrop, it's a character. It is a character in this story. The courthouse, the school hallways, the parking lots where conversations stop when someone walks by, the Facebook threads that burn hot and disappear. And in the center of it all, Sabrina Atkins, Ben Fields. 2 people, 2 narratives, 1 community forced to pick sides. But here's the thing about small towns. They don't forget. They absorb. They bury. They protect. And sometimes they explode. Tonight, we slow it down. We examine timelines. We separate accusation from evidence. We look at who benefits. We look at who loses. And we ask the question no one wants to ask out loud. Is this a story about individuals, or is this a story about a system? Because in places like Letcher County, Kentucky, power isn't loud, it's familiar. And familiarity can be dangerous. This is not outrage radio. This is not rumor mill theater. This is Devil's Advocates, where we hold space for both sides and let the darkness speak for itself. Lock in, lower the lights, and let's step into Letcher County. And with that, live from New York, it's Monday night.
All right. Thank you very much for that. And it's very cool that you spent so much time talking about Letcher County, because I did want to talk a little bit about that, obviously, since I'm on the road and doing this. I feel a little bad for the panel because I realize not all of you are into it as much as I am, and so I don't want to make the panel sit around and waiting for me to give a bunch of updates. But how do I not cover why the hell I'm out of town in the first place and all that stuff like that? So we kind of need
Right.
to do it a little bit, right? So I'll try to find some space for you guys in this as well. By the way, before we get too far, there's been an individual a couple of nights in a row have said in the chat that she would like to meet me in London, Kentucky, I think at the courthouse. And I have missed it a couple times. And my wife's like, you keep ignoring that person. I'm like, I'm not ignoring them. I'm trying to run a live, and sometimes I just miss stuff. So if you're in the room and you're listening to this now, please make sure you send a message in the chat. Make sure our moderators catch it. I'd love to meet you, and anybody that's there who wants to meet up at the courthouse as well. Make sure that you let me know so we can make that connection. I would hate to come all the way across the country and have somebody that wanted to meet and hang out for the trial and miss that opportunity. So let's make that happen. So let me tell you a little bit, guys, about this place is a scary fucking place. I'm telling you. So at first I thought to myself, I'm not getting the complete story. So I had flights to come out here for this trial of Sabrina Atkins versus Ben Fields and other entities. He's actually suing entities like EKCS, which is Eastern Kentucky Correctional Solutions, and the Sheriff's Department, Letcher County Sheriff's Department. And the trial's happening in London, Kentucky, which is another kind of relatively small place. But as some of you know, I had flights picked, and I thought this was going to be a big deal. It seems like the media is not picking up on it, so it's super weird. Like, I don't know whether I'm going to go there and it's going to be nobody's there, and I'm wondering why the hell I came across the country or not. But I'm telling you, like, I feel like everybody's missing the boat not being on this story. This is an enormous story, and let me tell you where I'm going with that. I can tell you, many attempts are being made to pay Sabrina off before going to trial. We're literally walking into trial tomorrow, and they're still trying to pay her off. They were calling her last night, making offers of money. They're trying to pay her off. She feels like people have tried to run her off the road. Like it's one of those, like, we're either going to pay you off or you're not going to make it to trial. That's how serious this is. And you would think that that's all paranoia, but I'm a little deep into this. I'm seeing this stuff happen. It's real, and it's freaky. And I just think to myself, how does this not have more media attention? How does this not have more? Because we're on the cusp of something huge here. And I'll tell you this. So when I canceled my flights, I canceled them because I had heard that they had decided to postpone the trial and agreed to a settlement. And I thought, that doesn't make sense. But they had a date of May. So I'm like, oh, it must be true. Like, they wouldn't have a date. And based on that, I canceled my flights, only to find out that they're back on. And then I was trying to figure out, like, what was the deal? It's all in the court records. I looked at it. So what happened is they literally did make a last-ditch effort where Sabrina Atkins' attorney was approached. They all agreed that they would come to some kind of number, but they haven't come up with a number yet. And so they wanted to just not have this trial. And there was a date on the calendar for May as a second continuance date that they could move to if something happened. And so they just basically assumed that the judge was going to say, let's go ahead and move it one more time while we work out the financials. And the judge basically told them to go pack sand. Like, everybody's literally a day away from the court. We're not going to schedule again. You told me multiple times that you guys were ready to go. You don't just get to come to me the day before trial and say, hey, let's move it to May and we're going to work out a dollar amount. He basically told them to go pack sand and quit being disrespectful to the court. We're going to show up and you're going to present your case. So that all happened, and it's in the court record. And I was like stunned to see that. Again, payments are being offered. She's turning them down. And here we go. And I'm a little bit nervous for what's going to happen. It's just,
yeah. I have a question for you.
Yeah, please do.
Because I know we approached this part of this conversation once before, and I've covered Letcher County up to when it got into this. Okay, everything else. So most of my community knows about most of it. And we did bring up the fact that will they accept payoffs in this? Do you think at this point she will? And where do you think she'll pick it up and say, okay, I think I'm going to take this and be done with this. Just curiously.
Yeah, no, it's a great question, and I'm gonna couch it the same way I've been telling the locals here. I said, and I was on with the defense rest today, and I said the same thing on that show.
Mm-hmm.
I can't blame Sabrina,
right,
for life-changing money. If they come to her and she's living very poor or whatever, and they come with a number that literally changes her life and that of her children, how could she not do what's best for her and her children? Right?
Of course.
But that payment is going to come with a shut the fuck up requirement, an NDA. Like you can't talk about how much money we paid you, and you can't talk about the details, which means the problem and the corruption in the county just gets paid and covered up. Yeah. And so on the one hand, there's no part of me whatsoever that could blame her for taking life-changing money if they offer it to her, and I kind of expect that to happen. I expect them to make an offer that's just too good to refuse, and I kind of expect her to take it. And I can't be angry with her. I'm there's a part of me that hopes that we get to see the corruption and it gets exposed, but that only happens if they don't find a number that's acceptable. And then here's the blunt thing, and I said this, and I hate to say it. At some point, it becomes a matter of math, right? It's cheaper to kill somebody than it is to pay them off, right? And so at some point, if you don't take a big enough number, are your days numbered? You know what I'm saying? If you don't take a big enough number, are your days numbered? Because they're not going to lose millions of dollars, right?
And we already know that that's not out of the question for that to happen here, guys. It's not at all.
Yeah. So. Yeah. And so I don't even know how to really, advise. I can't advise. And that's the thing. I'm too close to this. I know too much now, and I know too many of the people that I just kind of sitting there like, man, I don't know how much I can even say anymore at this point, other than do what's right for you,
Yep.
And so
absolutely understood. Good answer.
This question here: if one plaintiff wants to settle, does the other have to as well? From Third Apache.
So I want to be sure we understand the terminology. So the plaintiff is Sabrina Atkins, right? And the defendants are Ben Fields and Letcher County Sheriff's Department, maybe, and EKCS. So the plaintiff, if she's so first of all, the simple answer to your question is both sides have to agree to settle. And in fact, here's the scary thing, in my opinion. Joe Childers, who's the attorney for Sabrina Atkins, basically when they asked the judge to move this to May, said essentially both sides. So he's saying both sides have agreed that we want to settle on a number. So give us a little bit more time until May. And the judge said, basically, fuck off, you're going to trial. So I still kind of expect a courthouse step decision and handshake decision. And I don't know how the judge will deal with that, with we just decided on a number, we drop all the charges right now kind of thing, which may happen. We may literally walk there to find out that a deal has been made and there's no trial today. Who knows? But and why I say that scares me is it sounds like Sabrina's attorney has already said, essentially, I'm reading between the lines, that there is a number that she'll accept. So if we can work out the number, she'll accept the deal and we'll be done. Now, I don't know if that's true, but when he put in the writing that both sides have agreed that we're ready to settle, just give us a little bit more time, that suggests that she's ready to settle, but the number has to be right.
Yeah.
So,
but wasn't there already a threat that she got like a while ago? I heard something about like, well, she won't live to see the money or something like that. So
live to see the money, but she won't live to spend it.
Won't live to spend so I understand like what you're saying, and it's easy for people to pass judgment, but when you are, when you live, from day to day, and you have some kind of life-changing money that can help you and your you and your kids, to completely change your life. However, with the way this town is, I mean, she's gonna have to like look over her shoulder like for the rest of her life.
Yeah, like, I'm gonna be blunt and use a term that we used to call "fuck you money." It better be "fuck you money." You better pay me so much money that I can be like, "Fuck you." I'm getting on a plane and I'm leaving the country and I'm never coming back, and I got "fuck you money."
That's the other part, though, and I think we talked about that.
Yeah. I mean, if she doesn't leave.
That's what I'm saying. If she takes this day off, okay, and just stays there, what's the point? Because
Yeah.
at some point, I'm gonna guess they don't trust her anyway. So somebody's probably still gonna try to take her out, in my opinion.
Right.
And then what's the point? Like, take it and get the hell out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's and then this is horrible, right? We're talking about somebody's life here that and again it becomes a financial situation. Like I'm telling you, like it's inside rumors, but I'm telling you, I'm real close. I'm real close to this case, and I'm telling you, people are making money offers. They're trying to find that number. They're trying to, and because they don't want to go to trial, they don't want the details coming out, and that's the scary part. You either take a number that's good enough that you can get the hell out of Dodge and protect yourself, or you go and you hope that you got protection. But then the question is, are people protecting her? So, it's just, man, I wouldn't want to be in.
That's a big question, Lee, because you don't know who to trust. You can't really trust anybody from what we've learned. So at that point, what do you do? Okay. And here's the other thing. It's not going to stop the issue. The issue is going to continue to go on. You've shut your mouth. You've taken the money. Whether you stay or go, the issue still continues to move forward, just like it has for years.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, and see, like taking a big payment, if you're not going to move out of the place, I mean, you and your kids, I mean, your life is at risk every second anyway.
Yes.
They're just like, so there's like no point of even taking the money if you're not going to leave. If she's not, I know it's hard to pick up and leave.
And here's the bad part. Like I don't want to leave Logan and Robin out of this either. But here's the last kind of point that I want to make before I force them to say something. Say something. Say something.
I was waiting for my time. I have some questions.
Logan, go. I can hold my thought. Go.
Okay, so since I don't know much about this case, now we see like in Idaho, we have guilters and pro-burgers. Is it similar in this case as well, where you have a group of people that think this happened and another whole group of people that think the opposite happened?
No, I don't think so.
No,
I think in this case, the people who know anything about the case know damn well everybody's dirty and corrupt.
Yeah.
There's not a question. Like the community, from what I've been told, the community knows this whole county is corrupt, and it's no secret. Everybody who lives here knows the county's corrupt, law enforcement's corrupt, the judicial system's corrupt, everyone's corrupt, and everyone knows it. There's no question. So they're just all afraid to talk about it because they've got everybody under their thumbs, and they take your kids away, and they put parents in jail, and they've got everybody trapped. And so people are afraid. But in this case, there's no question about those who believe and those who don't believe. Almost everybody categorically believes that this is a corrupt county and a corrupt system, but they just can't fight the man.
Yeah, it's more like along the lines of, that absolutely happened, and oh shit, you're really going to talk about it. That's the truth of it there. So,
Right.
Sorry, go ahead, Logan.
Mainly like the citizens against like law enforcement and the higher ups that run the county and stuff. Is that kind of the who's against?
Yeah, but it's so hard. This is the thing, Logan. It's hard to explain this. The people who live here don't even understand who the good guys and the bad guys are. Like literally, there's so much corruption that the people they call the good guys are people who have abused them as young children, who have done illegal things like maybe covered up murders and stuff like that. And they're like, yeah, but he's the good guy because he's never touched me personally, or he's never done this. And so like I was like, is there anybody good in this county? But the point being is that I think people want to end the corruption but nobody knows how to do it, and everybody's afraid to say anything. I don't know how to really explain the culture other than they're all confused. Other than they know they're being abused and they want it to stop. But
it's like an ingrained culture. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no, you're saying exactly what I was going to say. It's just this. It's just its own little ecosystem there, or like its own little world, self-contained, that they don't know which way to turn because like Lee was saying today. They sometimes are very confused as far as, no, I'm not being abused because I don't get hit or, whatever.
Yeah.
So to them, they don't really see a problem in a way. It's strange.
It is totally. And I want to share, because I don't know, Logan, this is something I want to direct to you because you may not know this very well. Here's the really bizarre thing. So this case started for me when the sheriff shot and killed a judge in his judge's chambers. And I thought to myself, holy shit, did that just happen? And here's the thing. You talk to locals, and locals view him as the hero. Like they're like, Mickey Steins is a good guy. Like the fact that he shot and killed a judge in cold blood murder, that guy had it fucking coming. Like that's a bad judge, and good for Mickey. And look, even the prosecution on Mickey wants it moved out of the county because too many people like the guy. Like he killed a judge in cold blood, shot him 9 times, and people in the community mostly like that guy. They're like, good for him. Should have killed that fucking judge. So it's a crazy situation.
But at the same time, with what he just said, if you see this video that we've all seen and have gone back and rewatched after the fact, it's very odd, Logan, because there's no blood spatter. There's a lot of weird things with this. So it's something that you have to really focus and pay attention on when you see it, because now you're like, I think like what Lee said in the beginning, we were all just like, that really just happened, and it was recorded on video, so we all just frozen. Like we were like, wow,
it just happened.
Yeah, you don't see that happen, but then when it wore off and everybody started thinking about it and looking at it, we were like, wait a minute, hold on a minute, like this guy was 3 feet from him, and where's the blood spatter, where's this, where's that? Now we're all questioning that side of it. So
yeah, no,
there's
I know
too.
all of that, and I started getting into it in the beginning, and then I kind of stopped. But the reason I kind of stopped was because I didn't understand how there wasn't any blood spatter, and you didn't see the flash of the gun and things. And I was like, what is going on here? Like, and then it kind of got away from me, and then I stopped tuning in because time had just gone on.
The muzzle flash is what killed me. That's what the one that got me.
Logan, if you hear some of these women that tell their crazy stories, and not crazy that it's not believable, just crazy of that something like this can go on someplace that's not a movie or a TV show. Like this is real life. The Defense Rests had a show like a week or two ago, like a 5-hour show where a lot of them were telling their stories. And to Lee's point, like you hear these women explain, they're like, oh, and this guy, I'm just making up a name. Oh, this guy Bob, like, oh, he was a pretty good guy, he, as like what Dago was saying, like, oh, Robin, oh, this guy didn't hit me, he treated me right, but he kind of like, started dating me when I was 13, 14, like what?
right.
Like I'm listening to this, and I'm like, oh my God, like, and that's the good person, like what they view as like the good person, someone trying to groom them when they're young and trying to get them impregnated and all this crazy stuff,
feeding them drugs at 13 years old. All of that.
I like to call that the best of the worst.
Yes, right. That's pretty much right.
And a good way to put it.
And I have heard people say, like, I've heard some locals really talking favorably about Mickey, and then I will question them, like, well, wait a minute, I've heard this rumor that Mickey Steins may have helped cover up a murder that police did. And they're like, oh yeah, I mean, he's not perfect, but I mean, he never touched us.
like you just said, the best of the worst, Logan. Yeah, it's the best of the worst. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's insane. It's truly insane. Like one was saying, it's like, go turn on Lifetime or LMN. This is what you're gonna see, because you don't believe this is real. I'm telling you, until you see it. It's crazy.
I will say that I have almost concluded, though, for what it's worth, and I don't want to make Mickey Steins to be the hero of a case that I don't know all the details, because again, there are stories that Mickey Steins is not squeaky clean and has his own demons, but it just he may not be the same kind of sexual predator that some of these people are. So if you rank sexual predators as worse than other kinds of predators, then you can say he's the good guy, I guess, right? But let's not say that he's necessarily squeaky clean. But I will say this. Yeah. One of the questions I had was, Mickey Steins had the job before Ben Fields. And remember, Ben Fields was convicted of rape and sodomy of a girl that was under his ankle monitoring system. And he had run this scam on multiple women where he'd basically let them off an ankle monitor in exchange for sexual favors. And then if they quit doing it, he'd have them arrested and put back in jail and report them for being off the ankle monitor that he himself took them off. That's kind of the gist of the scam, right? And he learned that job from Mickey Steins. Mickey Steins had that job for I think it was 20 years or some shit before running for sheriff and winning the sheriff's job. And when he won the sheriff's job, he trained Benfield to take over. And the number one question I had was Mickey Steins running this same scam? And did he teach Benfield the ropes and teach it to him? But I will tell you this. Here's some new information I've had. Mickey Steins had it for like 20 years and not once had anybody come forward with a sexual allegation against Mickey Steins. And Mickey Steins apparently called Patty Stockham, who was the ankle monitoring person, when he found out Ben Fields had done this, and apologized over and over, to the point that she jokingly said, I'm going to file a restraining order if you don't stop apologizing to him. And he's like, I can't believe that happened. So I don't think Mickey was that kind of predator. Again, he may have had different issues, but he wasn't, I don't think he taught. I'm convinced now, pretty much, that he didn't teach Ben Fields the ropes on that. That was all Ben's
wasn't he gifted into the, like, not get the, that's the wrong word, like when he got the position, it was there already in the works already, like kind of working itself out, and he was just kind of born into the situation without really knowing. From my understanding, is that true?
Say that I was reading this comment at the same time you're talking. I'm bad. What did you say? Say that one more time.
You're ignoring me. That's okay.
I just fucking totally tuned you out. It's like, whatever. Wah, wah, wah. All I hear is wah, wah.
Yes, I'm completely used to it. It's okay.
All right.
So when
you can do it.
Christ, I'm sorry.
All right. Did you forget your question?
When Mickey got the position, he was kind of, it was already going on in the background. It was already there. He was just kind of like, he walked into the situation already preemptive. It was already there. It wasn't something that was created after he became the sheriff, right? Because he used to be Mullins' bailiff, if I remember right.
Yes, Mickey Steins was Mullins' bailiff, right? And here it gets convoluted, man. Here's the thing: it gets convoluted. These guys were in home poker games together. Mickey Steins, Ben Fields, and the Judge Kraft, Judge Mullins. They had poker games. And there's rumors that those poker games traded girls around, that they had sex parties, that there was I don't know to how far and how long this has been going on, right? I don't know.
That's why that's stuck there. Like, okay, was it there it is, grandfathered. He was grandfathered in the situation because it was going on when he walked into it. And then here's what I get the impression. I get the impression, this is all me, but I get the impression this was kind of a good old boys network with a bunch of guys that played poker together and whatever. And they all were corrupt in their own little ways. And again, I get the impression Mickey Steins' thing wasn't abusing women this way. He didn't agree with it. He didn't like it. He may have had his own shit going on that he doesn't want people to know about, but this wasn't his thing. And I think it ate on his conscience. And I think it ultimately is what's behind him shooting the judge in the judge's chambers. Now, to Logan's point and your point, when you guys were talking earlier about no blood, there's good evidence to suggest Mickey Steins, when he found out what Ben was doing and it bothered his conscience, he went to the Kentucky State Police to report it. And the Kentucky State Police didn't want to investigate it. They said they were too close to the case, couldn't investigate it properly. Mickey Steins then apparently went to the Attorney General's office and took it up a level. And that got the feds involved potentially. And if that happened, one might ask, how high does this corrupt county go? Does it go all the way up to governors or senators or congressmen or women? Who knows what's going on in this county and who doesn't want those secrets to come out? And did that lead to some kind of situation where, I hate to say it, that they would fake a judge's murder in order to put him in witness protection for him to rat out, hire people up the food chain? Is that possible? I don't know. Absolutely interesting. Thank you, Christine. I'll be looking for it. No, that's a very interesting thought and theory on this. And it is all based on thought, alleged, speculation, because we don't know yet. But you definitely got to wonder. And if this was the case, this would be the perfect situation for something like that. Agreed.
I'm gonna segue us to Idaho 4 in a second, but I want to just hit a few more things on Letcher County because I'm here, right? So I want to let people know a few things, and I want to segue with we need to be careful what we say. And I'm trying to remember if was it Ashley Banfield. Somebody recently was threatened to be sued for a comment that she made it wasn't Idaho 4, it was in the Guthrie case, I think.
Nancy,
yeah. So we'll segue to that in a minute. But let me tell you guys real quick what's going on. For those who don't know, I'm trying to get better and better at boots on the ground stuff. So hence I'm going to be at trial. There's no cameras, right, allowed in the courtroom. I don't even know if media is going to show up. I'm going to do my best to take really good notes in the courthouse. And then on breaks, if we have a lunch break, I'll see if I can make an update on, YouTube or whatever as a short or whatever. I'm doing members only videos because some of the stuff I'm talking about is stuff that's going on with locals that may not be appropriate for large audience, and because for some reason the nation hasn't caught on to this story. It's a dead story as far as YouTube goes. When I talk about it, nobody listens because they're like, who the fuck's that? Who cares? I don't know why they don't care. This is an enormous case and it's probably going to get bigger.
Yeah.
You watch, this is going to get bigger. This is not over. But anyways, so my own plug is, if you don't know about the Mickey Steins case and you want inside boots on the ground information, please like and subscribe and follow the Mickey Steins case. Get on Discord and watch. I got a channel that's called Letcher County trial, whatever, or court case. And I'm doing tweets, if you will, kind of thing, and keeping people updated. And I'm going to try to get better and better at giving you inside behind the scenes look into a case where I'm very close. I'm very close to the people in this case now. And I can't even tell you how close I am. I'm very close. I'm very close to the case, way closer than I ever expected to be to this case. So if you're interested at all and you like the way I cover things, please check that out. But the last thing I want to say to segue to something else is, what do you do when like, for example, in the Nancy Guthrie case, all somebody did, in my opinion, right? And I don't know if it was Banfield or not, but she made some kind of comment about how she thinks that a certain person is involved. And that has led to considering lawsuits for her saying that. And I'm thinking to myself, well, how is her giving an opinion any different than what we do? We say all the time our opinions about who we think might be the killer or who might have been involved or how it might have happened. So are we all going to get sued? Can a person not give their personal opinion? Like, if we sit down at a coffee table, I can tell you what I think is going to happen and nobody's going to sue me. But because we have a platform, do you get sued because you tell somebody what you think is going to happen? You're not saying it did. You're just saying, this is what I think is probably going to happen.
I think that was because her and the person that could sue her were very close at one point. And I think that she made a statement that a very good source told her this information. And
that was the wording. Yeah, a very good source, right?
In turn, I think it changed the situation at that point. Because we always say, in my opinion, this is what my thoughts are. Allegedly, she didn't say any of that. She just put it out there like we just said it, and that was that. So,
right.
All right. So I'm kind of done with my Letcher County thing, unless you guys have any more questions about it. I mean, so yeah, unless you have other questions, let's talk some Idaho 4. I know that one of the things I do want to talk about for Idaho 4 is this allegation, and we talked about it a bit backstage, and I think you confirmed it. But I hear in Bill Thompson's career, he's only gone to trial twice. Everything else has always ended in some kind of deal or whatever. And I think to myself, we talked about this backstage a little bit. Yeah. That is almost a sure sign of some kind of fuckery or corruption going on to have that kind of success rate. Nobody should have that kind of success rate. And if he's not ever going to trial, what the fuck is that guy doing for 30 years? And again, and when I ask the question, then I get nervous. Am I going to be sued for suggesting something? I'm just asking a question. How does somebody get that fucking lucky that they only get to take 2 trials or 2 cases to trial in 30 years? I don't even understand that.
It makes me wonder in specifically in Idaho, in that area, how many people are in jail or in prison because they were upcharged so much that they then pled guilty to something else. And it makes me want to look into all those other people's cases. Like, what went on here?
That is exactly what I said on the show today. 100% that I think everything he's ever touched, everything in 35 years needs to be looked at 100%.
Right.
Absolutely.
And I guarantee you'll find all kinds of fuckery. I mean, Idaho 4, every little document that comes out, because it's the coverage that it gets. But think about how many of these, different crimes and different things, have gotten zero publicity and they just get away with God knows what.
I found 2 cases that he covered in the past. One was going on during the Idaho case. One of them I didn't delve into much because it was a domestic and it involved child abuse and stuff like that. But the other one, and again, the man did no work. They had not been contacted I think even the domestic one, there was no contact from the prosecutor's office whatsoever, and then the case was just dropped. That was it.
Right.
End of
What
story.
kind of case was it?
Domestic. It started off as like a theft thing and turned into some kind of a domestic abuse case. It was so weird. So weird. The woman said she contacted the county, and they were like, yeah, the case is over. It's done. And there was never any contact from the prosecutor's office ever. How do you do that? How does that work out ever?
Ooh, I don't know, but we threw a word around backstage when we were talking about this. Maybe it was just me throwing around and you guys nodding every once in a while, but sociopaths. I feel like you have to be a sociopath to throw somebody in jail that you know didn't do it because it looks good for your conviction record and it looks good for your career and it gets you promoted because you and I'm thinking to myself, what kind of people can do that to other human beings? I mean, you read the book Framed to talk about it all the time, and it happens all the time. They literally know the person that they're prosecuting didn't do it, and they don't give a shit because they want a conviction and they can prove it enough to get a plea deal. And then I ask myself the follow-on question: if what it takes to be a good prosecutor is to be a sociopath, how many of our prosecutors are sociopaths? Because there's a lot of people who say that presidents of the United States are generally sociopaths. And CEOs of big companies are generally sociopaths because they make decisions. They don't give a shit about people. They give a shit about the dollar. Yeah. And that's all that matters. And they have to make decisions. A good CEO has to make decisions that says, I don't give a fuck if your kids get anything for Christmas this year. We're making a buck this year. And that's all that matters to me. I don't care about people. And so they're the people who run companies best and maybe run countries the best. Right. And maybe best prosecutors as well.
Yeah,
I don't know,
because the conviction rates are tied to politics. Very, very clear, you know. So, So, not saying that all politicians are, you know, involved in this, but they, you know, they'll basically they even if they have an idea, they won't ask questions. They don't want to know. Just, oh, great, Bill Thompson, you're whatever, you're 95% whatever conviction rate, plea bar, great, because it makes them look good. They're like, oh, they're clearing, you know, cleaning up the streets. They're clearing it up, and that's all they care about.
Well,
doesn't matter how they get there.
Is how many cases was Bill Thompson the prosecutor on that these people pled guilty to life instead of getting the death penalty, and he was part of that, and now they're serving life for maybe something they did not do. I want to go back and look at those cases.
I'll tell you something else to look at. You also should, that is a good point, also look at any case that had any involvement with Molly or some kind of, you know, CI or something, although we might not know who the CI is.
That's all they cover. That's all they have. Any kind of a drug case in that area. Real quick, let me speak to this real fast. George King, thank you very much, brother. Dropping 5 true crime memberships over here tonight. I appreciate you so very much. And it looks like Rare Zebra, Kenny B, Melissa Daly, River Birch Farm. It's weird. I think that's it. Stoned but not alone. Congrats, welcome to the sauce, all you guys, and thank you again very much, George.
You're gonna have to show me sometime how you see who got the awarded memberships, because I don't even know how to do that. That's very cool, but
it just popped up in my my YouTube chat on my screen.
Yeah, it just pops up in the chat.
But I do want to reiterate what you're all saying, because I agree with you. It would. I think it's worth our time to dig into Bill Thompson's entire case history. Now, here's the problem. I isolated a couple cases I already had problems with, which involved Bill Thompson and Moscow Police Department involving Molly, right? We talked about Molly. Somebody mentioned Molly.
Yes.
I went to the prosecutor's office asking for some information about that. And they basically told me, all of that's attorney-client privilege. You can't ask me for anything. That was the response. And they said, if you disagree, take me to court. So I'm not going to get shit from Bill Thompson's office. So we got to find a way. And maybe you have to go to every single case and then go after the police records. But Bill Thompson's not going to cough up shit about his. He's going to hide behind attorney-client privilege, and I'm not allowed to talk to you about any of my cases. Right. But somehow, I feel like it's worth our time to look into the history, because I'm telling you that trend means something.
Yeah, and I guarantee you, there's a pattern. I would would bet money that you'll see a pattern. How many times, has he had Molly lie or someone similar to Molly like lie about something? Oh yeah,
That's her
just
buddy.
I need you to be a witness for me, and then we'll get you a
Yeah.
lighter sentence for here or there.
Right,
Well, I'll
right.
take care of you. Now,
Wait,
is it is that something that doesn't happen, like like US wide, that deals are made and stuff? Yeah, deals are made all the time. People, they always, you want to get the bigger fish, right? You want to get you don't always want to get the low hanging fruit. So someone, maybe we get someone's arrested for a certain amount of heroin or cocaine and that, but you want the bigger fish. So maybe you make a deal, but uh to have a pattern though, and to have someone that's, I mean, look what was going to happen in this case. I mean, Molly was going to be the star witness, saying she saw BK at the house. She was going to be the one to place BK at the house, which
but who changed
we
her
know is a
mind?
lie.
Who
Right.
changed her mind? One.
I
Which
think
is
the
a
public did. I think
weird-
the,
Yeah.
the public
you.
getting a
Right,
hold
no,
of
I
the
get
public
it.
getting a hold of
Right,
those getting a hold of those body camera footages of the
Right.
cops pulling her over and her saying I'm friends with Bill Thompson ruined that fucking plan. They were going to do that, but here's the thing: good to us, the community. We were pit bulls. We were all over this. As soon as
Sure.
somebody said, "Well, like Molly, who? Let's go," and people started FOIAing that shit, and fucking getting records and body cams, and next thing you know, it blew their plan. If we hadn't done our job, they would have pulled that shit off and just used her.
Well, and at
Yep.
some point, Molly, our videographer over here, she's also a very good researcher, moderator, so on and so forth. We looked into some of these older cases, a lot of the drug cases and stuff, a good handful or and a half, I'll say, of these drug cases. And you want to know, almost every one of them, that person was rolled. They are now CIs. They are now in that drug program. Everybody that gets in trouble for drugs over there seems to fall into this program conveniently.
Mhm.
And this is what they
Yeah.
do. Every
Right.
damn one of them. And therefore, in turn, there you go, folks. Look back at his track record. The man hasn't had to do any work. Everybody works for him. They all do what he needs them to do, and they all work together. I mean, it's pathetic and it's bullshit. And I agree. If we have the ability and the time as a whole, we need to pull up his shit. We need to look into his shit. We need to find a way to dig and to put him out on fucking Front Street, in my opinion, and point it out, folks, because it's enough. It's bullshit. This is just as bad as what's going on in Letcher County in different ways, but just as bad.
Yeah.
Real quick, we have a
Sorry.
membership gifting war going on. Everybody's out there. So thank you, KS, Jess, and Art on our side, and looks like George King's doing it on other sides. Looks like we're in a gifting war. It's a gifting war.
Oh, yeah.
I like it.
Thank you,
job,
George
George.
King. We appreciate you so much. We have
Yeah.
5 new turtles.
Thank you.
There
Thank
you go.
very
I
much,
mean, look at that document that has to do with Farley. From what was it, 2019?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it says it. I don't remember word for word, but the document is part of the Idaho stuff and whatever that we
Right.
have researched. It clearly states in there that the guy has a history of lying and making up stories, but yet the FBI task force there, led, I guess O'Neill was listed as his handler. Still,
Yeah. I remember. I know what you're talking about.
they basically acknowledged in the document that they know that he's a liar and they know that he makes up stories, but they still reserve the right to retain him as a CI.
It's insane, but true. Yeah. And Lucy's is saying that that one's not about Farley. It's something else. I don't know 100% about that. Go ahead, Lee. Sorry.
I want to share with you a funny moment. I got kind of duped. So I've been having people more frequently tell me, "Hey, what happened, DA? You used to do long form videos and you haven't done it." And I've been like, "Hey, look, I am dedicated to doing it. Once I get fucking back from the road, I've been on the road for it seems like a half a month. I've been on the road." But it was funny because I was starting to try to prep for one, and I got duped. I got duped by the New York Times. So the New York Times had an article that just came out a day or two ago that said Chief Fry, former chief of police, Chief Fry from Moscow Police Department, admits that he made mistakes in the Koberger trial. And so I was like, oh shit.
Yeah.
So I go to click on it and it's behind a paywall. And I'm like, fuck it. I thought I had a subscription to New York Times. Okay, I'm signing up for the thing because this is going to be good. This is going to be good. And it mentioned the Guthrie case as well. And it basically was this. Like the Guthrie case and that sheriff, he admits that he made some mistakes. And the only mistake in the entire article that he said he made is he should have told people what was going on 6 hours after it happened, not 3 days. And that was his mistake. And that was it. There was nothing about any other mistake other than, in retrospect, he should have told the public earlier instead of waiting 3 days to do it. And I'm like, I paid for that fucking drivel. Like there was no substance to that article whatsoever.
It was
his
also in
mistake.
People magazine, and I got it for free.
Well, what's funny about that is I saw the People magazine one as well, but it wasn't the same. It was like a summary of. So I wanted to get the full article from the New York Times, thinking because I knew People had done it as well, like, and they took pieces of it. It was even worse. Like it seemed like in the New York Times, it was like even worse. Like people at least added some fluff to it.
Wait, are you on a different level with this? What you're talking about? Because I was going to throw one more thing at you about that situation.
Feel free.
Okay, real quick, just to go backwards, just a tinge. If you guys remember, Caden Young was another person that had passed away on the campus of Idaho University, right?
Yeah.
We all know that whole story. Demetrius Robinson, Emma Bailey, blah blah blah. All them people that were involved went to jail for this. They were brought up on charges for this. I was in the middle of a live stream. Somebody jumped in my live and said, "Dago, they're gone. They got released, charges dropped." And they've disappeared. They're out. What? Hold on a minute. What are you talking about? So we go look up court records.
Yeah.
It's all gone. It's done. It's over. It's gone. There's nothing there.
Yeah. Demetrius and you're right. I mean, I think we're talking about the same thing. Demetrius and Emma both were under investigation for that. And it just got dismissed. They just dropped everything and it was over.
It was dropped. It was there one day. Yes.
Yeah.
There one day. The next day, gone. Clean. Nothing. This is what I'm talking about, you guys.
Yeah.
It's happening every day. Every day. There's no charges pending. The initial report was they were being transferred to the other county. Nope. Nothing. It's all gone.
I asked for all those body cams for that situation because Emma Bailey and Demetrius were in the whatever room it was when all that went down.
Right.
I've never gotten a response.
They don't respond. They don't.
Wow. Kick rocks, not denied, not nothing. They just don't.
It
respond.
just disappeared, Logan. It's just like it never happened.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's the thing. Like, I hate this lack of transparency. We're moving worse. It's getting worse. So in the same article, I forgot to tell you, in the same article about Fry's mistake, they reiterated that Idaho has recently passed a law that basically says they're not going to start telling anybody anymore. They're no longer going to tell people why people leave office. If you work, especially in law enforcement, if you leave, they're not going to tell you if you were fired, if you resigned, or what the conditions are and what you left. And I'm thinking to myself, why is it acceptable for us to have less and less transparency? We're not going to tell you anything that anybody's doing. You don't get to see body-worn camera. You don't get to see victims' bodies. You don't get to see when people do something wrong. You don't get to see when they're fired or they quit. It's none of your fucking business. Everybody could just kick rocks. And you look into, all these cases, and again, it's just kick rocks. You don't get to know. Like, why did we get to the point where that's acceptable? Like, I don't get it.
Because we have no choice, Lee. They don't give us any other option. They just shut it down and walk away. And when we're over here going, hey, what about, they're like, yeah, sorry. And they walk away from you and it's over. That's just what it is. Sorry for the gesture, but that's basically what it is, you guys. That's 100% what they do to you.
I agree.
They don't have to explain it to you. And that's what they're pointing out right here with this. Like, we're not going to tell you because we don't have to tell you. I reached out trying to get a FOIA on the court records for that mess with Robinson and Bailey. And there's no response. I didn't get anything. Like Logan said, I got no, we can't give you that. No, it's not your business. Kick rock. I didn't get anything. Just, it was dead silence.
Yeah.
Nothing ever back from it. So
I can't remember which letter it was, but one of the public records requests that I sent came back, and I basically countered it or appealed their response. And I think it was Bill Thompson's office. I just don't remember the exact wording, but the wording from Ari Woodward, I think, who was his attorney for Bill Thompson's office, wrote back, and basically the letter said, the law allows us to answer the way we did, and so that's what we're going to stick with. It wasn't like we don't have the information you're asking. We have the information you're asking for, but the law allows us to give you exactly the answer. So when I push back and said, that's not, you can't do that. Yep. The law allows us to say it that way. And that's the way we're going to say it. So
Yes.
take us to court if you don't like it.
Absolutely.
Yeah. It's insane. And how am I going to fight a 30-year, career prosecutor who knows more about the law than I'll ever know? I mean, I'm going, it's like David versus Goliath. Like I can't compete with that guy. And the system's designed to protect itself. That's one of
It's
the
insane. It is insane. And I looked into a little, like there was people saying that Robinson went to Vegas and went back to what he was doing, and that he went off and went somewhere else and blah, blah, blah. That's not, so they're not in WITSEC or anything like that. They either rolled over and gave them what they wanted and went up and blended into the crowd or something like that. The only thing I can think of. So it's the only thing that makes sense to me. And it doesn't make sense. So it's not okay, guys. This can't happen. Things like this you can't commit a crime and then just because you decide to tell somebody, well, guess what? It wasn't really me. It was this, or this, and just get away with it. Come on. It's ridiculous.
I want to see this article that Christine Hurd was saying. He's sending me an article that says the media is only allowed to report on what Idaho tells them they can. I believe that
we
they probably do have
that,
something.
yeah.
Yeah. It's nice to see it in writing. And I guess that's the only thing we can do is just advocate for telling people from our bully pulpit, this is the kind of bullshit that they've put us all into. They're all corrupt. And we're just going to, that's all we can do is just keep pointing out the corruption, but.
See there, that's the point. I know all about that story for you because I had somebody else tell me that story about him as well, and there's many other stories like that. So and this just keeps happening because, in my opinion, he works with them when they want him to, and I think they all work together. To be truly honest with you, it's sad. So,
yeah. And at some regards, like somebody just said, we've already lost so much here. It says now we're going to have to fight an uphill battle to get our country back, whatever. And I want to say that in a lot of regards, yes, we've done this to ourselves because, and I don't want to spend too long on it because we can't undo the past, right? But we as a society have continued to allow them to erode our rights and our civil liberties little by little for decades by not saying anything because everything was always a little, it's not that big of a deal. This is just a small thing. But all of those small losses have ended us up in a situation where it's almost embarrassing to say you live in a free country because other countries are more free than we are. We used to take pride in America about we're free my ass. Like we have to have licenses to go everywhere. We have to have licenses to do everything. And the system's rigged against us and they put us in jail whenever they want to. And you can't fight back against the oppressive system, which is designed to protect itself. How is that a free country? We've been brainwashed and we're the frog in the pot that's slowly boiled, the proverbial frog that doesn't notice the temperature being ratcheted up until it's too late.
Right. Yeah. Something was just brought up in the chat. Kim from Typically Unique asked if we had talked about yet. I didn't get a chance to bring it up, but it was something that we found out today that can be done. If and when, I'm going to say when, I hope, Brian files an appeal on this. There's something that we can all do, okay, as anybody can do, and it's called an amicus letter, or there's another word for it, but where we can write, anybody said right in the definition that anybody of interest that's interested in this can write into, I have to figure out where, and give information as to why we believe what we believe, why this should happen, what should happen, so on and so forth. And we could all write 2 letters a day to them, send it to them, and point out these things, and maybe that will make somebody open their eyes and see why we believe that Brian Koberger wasn't the one that did this or didn't do this alone or whatever it was when it comes down to that point for the appeal. But it's something that is able to be done in support of his appeal to help that, to at least maybe get this brought back to the table to go back to trial like it should have in the first place.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's what it's
right.
called.
Yeah. And right now we're doing what we can do, which is constantly keeping this in the forefront of discussion and making people ask questions. And we are having more people ask questions, which is good. So
I want to really quick thank Jerry for the Cash App. I received it, and Bronx and I will go out for a good treat. Thank you very much. Appreciate you.
Awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, it's an uphill battle, but I feel like our mission here is to keep light on the thing. I mean, we use these high profile cases to educate people on the system. I don't know that we can fix the system, but if everybody becomes more aware of the system, then maybe next time somebody's passing a law, people will be like, "Hey, wait a minute, we know where that's going."
Exactly.
Maybe it'll start to eventually creep in, and we can start changing some things. But
Does anybody, by the way,
Well-
speaking of laws, has any of you guys have any of you guys, I'm sorry, seen any updates on that whatever that law was that Olivia Stevenson is trying to support to get passed? Has anybody seen anything new with that at all?
the one where it says that
No.
people shouldn't be allowed to see crime scene photos or see bodies. Yeah, I haven't seen any update on it.
Okay, I was just
No.
curious.
She didn't,
just now.
and I don't think she got. I thought she was going to get a ton of press for it. I don't think she got a ton of press for it. So I suspect I think the law was passed or agreed upon or whatever very, very readily, but it didn't seem to get a lot of press. So it's one of those. It almost feels like it's one of those quiet things that happened. And someday we're going to find out. Hey, why the fuck can't we get this? Oh, well, you don't remember? Olivia.
Well, was
Gonzalez
it
filed
actually
this law.
passed? That's what my question was, or was it just still being?
I think it was unanimously supported, so maybe it hasn't reached the ballot yet. Like it hasn't been put on the ballot, I don't think, but I think they agreed that they're going to put it on the ballot or something to that effect. So I think it's still maybe early, but
Yeah, okay, gotcha. Something just flipped that switch to remind me of that, so that's why I was asking. Thank you, guys.
and it's going to be hard to convince the public that while the intent sounds good, oh yeah, I get it, families don't want to have their loved ones' bodies shown on thing. You have to be able to educate people that you don't want to live in a system where our court systems aren't transparent, when you're not allowed to question authority. If you allow them to hide everything behind gag orders and hide all the photos of the crime and not show you anything and just trust us, we got the right guy, you should be terrified to live in that society, because this is the first time they decide that they want you away. No one's going to be able to see that it was done wrong because you told everybody it was okay to not look at the record.
Yeah.
And oddly enough, I mean, Steve Gonsalves actually said in an interview with his wife, he was actually in favor of that. So he like constantly contradicts himself. He
Right.
said he's fine with, someone wants to come and they need to do research and learn, but he has to also look at the big picture too, which obviously it's his daughter, right, that's involved, so he's not going to be able to take himself out of being involved. It can't just be lawyers and whoever that have access. There's a reason. It has to, the public has to have access. I don't think anyone is arguing that we want to see bloody bodies put all over Instagram and YouTube and whatever. No one's advocating for that at all. It's all about research and crime scenes and all this stuff. And how do we stop things? How would we stop a Manson or any of these people? We have to study the crime scene. We have to study behavior, study patterns. How do we study the pattern? How do we if we can't see the crime, what was done? That's we have to be able to do it. It can't just be the forensic specialists get to see it. No.
And something else I was wondering about, regarding that. I mean, people that are going to school for these professions, they have to be able to study crime scene photographs. I mean, if you're going to start introducing legislation that way, I mean, who's going to monitor that kind of thing? I mean, this is where this is such a slippery slope. And
yes,
we
absolutely.
can't just sit by. I mean, because if you want, I mean, there's problems now with investigating the crime scenes. People that don't know how to properly do it, and so now you're going to limit their exposure to show them blood patterns and so forth and so on. So that's
People
not,
need to understand
it's
how
not good
dangerous it is to
you know.
go this route. It's
Yeah.
Right.
super dangerous.
And
By
then
the way-
along with that, just like on a side note, which is also a big problem, and yeah, there's been some stuff here or there that's happened. This like never-ending gag order on cases shouldn't have this kind of gag order.
No.
You know, where I mean, the guy,
Yeah,
the main
99 years.
your main suspect,
Right.
he pled guilty, and we still have years go by, time goes by, and we still have stuff gagged, hidden. This is like ridiculous.
I have to interrupt this program to tell you something very diplomatic, but I've got inside news again. They are continuing to make offers. They just made another offer, and it's up to Sabrina Atkins to settle. They are trying to settle this fucking thing before trial tomorrow morning. They just made a number so good. I think she's considering it. So they're going to fucking pay her off. They're going to pay her off. I may have no fucking trial to go to tomorrow because they may fucking pay her off tonight. They're up in the money as we fucking speak from insider information.
You can't tell us the exact amount, but like, what realm is it in, Lee? How high up is it? If you can tell us that.
I want to believe a number I heard on the original request was somewhere around 1.5 million. And the initial offers that came in were pathetically less shy of that. So relatively speaking, even that number is not high for the kind of case this is.
No.
But
Right.
I feel like the numbers that are being tossed are getting more up to the number that they would lose if they go to court. But again, they don't want to go to court. So they'd rather pay, let's say that's a hypothetical number, 1.5 million. They'd rather pay 1.5 million and not go to trial than pay $1.5 million in a settlement or
Sure.
in a trial. Right. So they're trying to find a number probably that makes everybody happy. And it's sickening to watch from this side of it. Right. Because damn well, they're going to try to find a number that she can't refuse. It's let me make you an offer you can't refuse. So,
and then when that happens again, she's going to take that. She's going to be forced to sign an NDA. Period.
Yeah.
And end of story. This is gone. It's bye.
Right.
It disappears.
Right.
It never happened. Never. And moving on, unless somebody else goes to court over this. But what's going to happen if she takes the payoff? Look at the outside. Look in from the outside of the other people that were involved in the situation. Now, what are they going to feel?
Right. And you have to start to ask yourself the chain reaction effect. So let's think of all the other people who know information, and they're thinking, well, shit, she just got a payday. I want my payday now. So they're going to come forward and they're going to say they have a case and they're going to look for their payday. But here's the thing. Somebody's going to start doing math equations and go, I'm not fucking paying all these people that kind of money. Some people are just going to have some accidents. So
exactly.
Again, if they keep covering this shit up because they either pay it off or you die. And let me tell you, people have already died in this case. Jennifer Hill, I don't believe it was an accident. They say that she overdosed. I don't fucking believe she overdosed. She had critical information, including I think she had a sex tape, and she said she had it, and she ended up just dying. They just, you know what? She's a drug addict. She fucking overdosed. Big deal. It happens. Druggies do that kind of thing. Come on, man. Use your sense. These people are being murdered and paid off right in front of everybody, and the fucking nation is largely ignoring it. Like, this is disgusting to watch from the outside.
The way they're dying is very, very, very scary in some aspects too. She was bringing groceries in and dropped dead. We know what that's from. The woman with the dogs, that's insanely disgusting and ignorant, but that's
horrible.
Scary shit, guys. Scary.
Yeah.
Thank you, You're Enough, for the 5 new turtles, 5 new memberships. That's really, really sweet. Thank you.
And this will just disappear, go cold, and it never happened, you guys, and just keep going on as it has for 30, 40 years or longer, however it's been going.
Yeah.
That's what makes me sick to my stomach about this. Well, I just hope that if she were to take a payoff, honestly, she has enough sense to get the hell out of Letcher County, to get the hell out of Kentucky for that matter, okay? And a lot of these people have roots here. This is what I worry about with this. If you are to take this to shut down whatever it is, leave. Like we were saying earlier, but a lot of people have roots in this area. Their families, their mothers, their brothers, their sisters, their kids, they're here. So a lot of people don't want to leave because of that. That's where the problem's going to lie. So it's just going to have to be a wait and see what happens,
Yeah, but you have to. I mean, I don't think staying isn't an option.
It shouldn't be.
it should, they could offer you $50 million. It doesn't mean anything.
I just saw the face you made, Lee. So
yeah. It's aggravating. Like I said, I've got ears now in places and stuff like that. So it's aggravating me seeing what's happening behind the scenes. And and again, let me get this straight. Like I don't want anybody to think I'm being a little petty ass, but yeah, I flew across the fucking country to cover this thing and to try to shed light on the corruption in this county because I believe it needs to stop, right? Yeah. But I can't do anything if somebody gets life-changing money and decides that I'm taken care of. So, it's like, what, and I can't blame them. Like I can't.
Right.
So I'm here watching this whole fucking trial just get hushed maybe right in front of me as I'm sitting here going, I literally don't know if I'm going to be going in a courtroom tomorrow or fucking trying to get my next flight back and saying, well, that was fun.
And it tells you that this kind of a thing, you guys, is kind of scary because it tells you at the very least, how often does this happen?
Oh, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like this kind of stuff, I'm here seeing it happen in real time, but I bet you this happens every day in America and we just don't realize how often every day this is happening. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's all it takes, guys. This world runs on money. People run on money. Here's $1 million. You just watched me murder somebody, but here's $1 million. Enjoy your life.
I can head over to Nashville, Tennessee. Someone said and there's something to do over there, so I can.
There you go.
I mean, there are sightseeing things here. I am in a part of the country. If I get stuck and don't have anything else to do, I guess I'll go see something.
You're not too far from me right now. I don't think so.
There you go. Maybe I'll take a trip and I'll come shake your hand.
There you go.
Say I did it.
Did it live.
Doing it live.
Next time maybe we'll be sitting here side by side. Then you guys will really flip out.
I was going to say, I could do a gag and I can come up behind you in the darkness while you're on a live on my show.
That I don't know that I would do because of what usually sits next to me. And I don't think you want to scare me that way, but give me a little hint at least.
I would do it with your agreement.
There you go. There you go. That's better.
Yeah. And get shot or eaten by a dog or something.
100%. Yes.
Yeah.
That's some sick shit.
So I guess, guys, how weird is it that I've got I'm here, boots on the ground, and I may walk back with nothing. Literally, here's something I don't know if I talked about it on my members only live a little bit, but I came here and I had a group of interviews set up, and when I showed up with lights, camera, and action, they all backed out. Because they all had people in their life who said, you're not talking to that guy. And so people who wanted to talk were told, don't talk to me. And they all backed out. So I got here on day one, a day early to get interviews. That didn't happen because everybody was told not to talk to me. So now I'm waiting for a trial to happen tomorrow. And literally, I think they're buying her off right now as we speak. So there'll be no trial. And I'm like, what the hell did I accomplish?
Were these interviews on top of the other, these are newer things as from the first time you were there?
Yes.
Okay.
New stuff.
Wow.
Yeah, new stuff.
Wow. That's unreal, bro. That's just, I mean, it's not because it's realistic. I get it, but it's still crazy.
Jeez. Yeah. Well, I'm getting my popcorn out and just waiting to see the shit show.
Yeah, you got till what time is this supposed to go to? What time's the court tomorrow?
8:30 tomorrow morning, Eastern Standard Time is when court's supposed to start. And because I'm a good hour and something away, I've got to get up at like 5 a.m. I'm going to travel there for about an hour and a half, and then I'm going to try to be outside the courtroom an hour and a half to 2 hours early, just in case there's a line. But again, I'm the way I'm feeling right now, it's not going to happen. I think I'm going to show up and they're going to be like, court's canceled today, we settled.
So, is there a way that you'll know before you go? That way you maybe don't have to go, or are you still going to go either way?
I've got people that are behind the scenes, so I suspect I'm going to get a notice tonight if a deal's reached. But
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, at least that could save you a trip instead of having to go, for no reason, if that's what you want.
Is there a lunar eclipse coming up out here?
Yeah, we have I think it's a full moon tonight, so that's probably not playing well into your plans either. So.
Yeah. Well,
I don't know, Robin and you guys are quiet again tonight. Like, what are your thoughts on this whole thing? Whether there's a payoff or not a payoff, or what do you think?
I mean, I think that she would have to literally, as soon as she gets the money, she'd have to take off. Like, there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Because otherwise, I mean, what was it somebody said? You might win, but you're not going to live to spend it.
That's
So, I mean,
right,
I mean,
Robin.
that kind of says it all right there.
Does she have Lee? I'm sorry, Robin. I didn't mean to step on you. Does she have family, kids, anything like that, Lee, that you know of that would keep her here?
Yes.
Okay. Well, you two were right, 100%. Logan and Robin both. Like, that would be the only smart thing to do. Is just to get the hell out of Dodge.
Here's the thing, though. I mean, in this day and age, 1.5 million, yeah, it's a lot, but okay, a lot of times when you are in and out of, she was in jail and stuff before, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you're in and out of jail, a lot of times you don't own a home, you rent a home. It's not like she'd be able to pay off a house somewhere, and she would still probably need to rent somewhere, and like little things like that. And the money would go fast, and then she would be
then when it's gone, what?
And it's gone. Now she's
Right.
stuck somewhere.
And getting a job would be hard for her. I mean, she's going to have to work at some point because of having a record.
Yeah.
So it is a very, very difficult situation.
Lee just got new information.
Yeah, I'm getting shit coming in. It's fucking. I will tell you what I can, when I can tell you something. But yeah, I feel like I'm in the negotiations. We're in negotiations. It feels like, but wow,
that's wild. It's wild.
Wow. I mean, really, I'm not right. I'm not a decision maker in this at all. But I'm at least getting good stuff on people that know people who know people and are that I've learned who I can trust in the story. So yeah.
Right.
So what
somebody here wants to take you out drinking.
Yeah.
I'm gonna need it.
Yeah, I was gonna say you probably need it.
Although I need to make sure I know who I'm drinking with, or I might not come back from Kentucky.
That is true. That is true. Have them meet you in Tennessee. Do it that way.
Tennessee whiskey.
So what would the odds be that if this were to happen, Lee, you think would she give you an interview after the fact, do you think?
Well, again, if they buy her off, it's gonna come with a no disclosure. She's not gonna be able to talk about how much money they paid her, and she's not gonna be able to talk about the story. There's no way they're not giving her. They're gonna give her money without strings attached to say you can't talk about this now. So I don't know what she could talk about. And if I did talk to her, it'd almost be a meaningless conversation because she won't be able to talk of anything of substance.
That's a good.
At best, what I'll be able to get is, hey, I had to do what was good for me.
Have a nice life. Yeah, exactly.
Have a nice life. Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I were her, I don't know that I would. So I've had conversations with her, and it wasn't even, at first I wasn't sure how comfortable I was. Like, okay, is it okay for me to talk to somebody who's literally going to be in court? I've had conversations with her, but at this point, I don't know if it's a good idea for her to have a conversation with me. I mean,
right.
If I were her, I don't know that I would trust me or trust anybody. I'd take the money and fucking run.
Well, let's ask this question then, all the way around, if you guys don't mind. Based on what Sausage Biscuits just said, if she gets the F out of town, she'll live to spend it. So here's the next question. Do you guys, knowing what we know about this, do you trust that if she takes a payoff, signs an NDA, goes on about her life, even if she takes off, do you think they'll leave it alone? They'll leave her alone? Or do you think at some point, because I don't think they will, I don't think that they would trust in somebody that was already going to go to testify against this. That's just my opinion.
I got a piece of inside information I want to share with you. Now I haven't vetted this, but I'm getting messages and stuff. I haven't vetted this, but somebody who's looking about what number she should take if she takes a number says that they've looked into Kentucky case law for examples, and typical sexual assaults by persons in authority usually net between $850,000 to $3.2 million. For settlements. So anyways, that's again, that doesn't tell you what she's being offered or whatever, but that's the I guess if someone were to educate themselves of what is a good number for me to take, that would be a ballpark where you start, right? Just shy of $1 million to $3.5 million. But
I just
then-
said, for me, if I was in that, well, I don't know what her financial situation is, but if I was in my own financial situation that I'm in now, 1.5 million would not be worth it for me.
They're dirt poor down there.
I know.
And see, and yeah, and here's the other thing you need to factor in, and I don't know the numbers on this, but typically, now this is what I got educated from Ali Benevento, the criminal defense attorney from North Carolina that we befriended on here. I was asking her about Sabrina's, who's paying for Sabrina's trial? Like who's paying for her attorney? If she doesn't have money, who's paying that attorney? That's typically done, I think it sounds like, on a contingency basis. Like the attorney takes it, but he doesn't make money unless she wins something or she gets a settlement. But a large part of the money she gets is going to go right to that attorney, right? Like, and you have to always factor that in. It's like, okay, you get this big number, but is she, for example, going to factor in how much of that money goes away to the attorney to pay off his fees that he's going to charge her for what he's done for her, and then taxes are going to come into there, and so you think you got a big number, and you're like, oh, all of a sudden when I'm said and done, I got $50,000, and I don't get to tell my story.
And she can't step up and say, oh, wait a minute,
I didn't realize
this, and I need more. No, you're stuck with that. Move along. So yeah, that's a big point, Lee. That's a huge point with
and this is the part that I got to be careful about, because you have to ask, like I asked this question, how much do we know about her attorney? Is her attorney truly on her side, or is her attorney potential? Is there any scenario in which her attorney could be working with the people who want to say, hey, look, I'll tell her, we'll work out a settlement, we'll come to a number we can all agree on, we'll get it done. How do you know that attorney isn't also in it for like his payday? Like, hey, look, I'll represent her, I'll work out something with you guys, nudge, nudge, wink, wink, we'll get a number we can all agree on, you pay me, I pay you, we're all done, and this is out of here. Boom, and again, I don't want to believe that I have no idea about this guy's history, so I don't want to say anything that says that he's that guy, but it's a question I asked. Like, how did you get your attorney, and how do you know that he himself isn't in it for his payday?
He may be one of the people that's part of the whole circle of they all work together at some point. If he's local, that's true. So,
did I say North Carolina for Ali Benevento? Is it South Carolina? Yeah,
South Carolina.
I should know better than that. How did I screw that up? There's something that came up with North Carolina. That's why, and I was looking at North Carolina when I was thinking that. So
this is such a mess.
And thank you for being a member for 5 months. We appreciate that.
Thank you, Paula. Yeah, this is a disaster, you guys. I'm like on the edge of my seat.
I know. I'm just like waiting for more info here. I'm like, man.
Hey, you guys, put a 1 in the chat if you've ever listened to Devil's Advocate talk and thought your phone was actually on a higher speed than what it was. I know I've done that. I was like, do I have it on 2? Do I have it on 1.25? Like, what the heck?
Can I tell a quick story on that?
Yeah.
Please let me tell this story. Before I even talked to Lee, met Lee, any of that, I watched probably a good 6 or 7 of his shows, right? And every time I watched him, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I thought I drank a lot of coffee, but this dude is flying, okay? Because he was always talking so fast. And I was like, but I always understood, because I talk fast sometimes too. But I was like, Jesus Christ, like, slow down, bro. Breathe a little bit.
He has a point to tell, because it is out there so fast. Like, yes.
Slow it down. Slow it down.
No, I love the fast talking.
Yeah.
I love when people get the point out super fast.
It's funny. A.R. Hayes, when I first met Pete Alturi, he's like, hey, I talk a lot to this guy, A.R. Hayes, a Convict's Thoughts, and I want to get you 2 of you together, but he doesn't know if he can handle your intensity, because you just fucking are way too fast for him. And he's like, and so it was work for him to get the 2 of us to get on camera together, because he's like, that guy stresses me out when he talks. He just talks too fucking fast for me. But we actually did well together when we were on camera. But
I played a show at one of your shows. I was running it to make a point from something you said on one of my shows, and I put it on, I think it was 1.5, and I'm like, I don't think I've slowed it back down, because it was just, yeah. Thank you, Sausage Biscuits, for that super chat to get an interview before NDA. Well, it's probably part of the plan and the settlement right away, Sausage. So I don't think it would work.
Correct.
And thank you, Bianca, for the brand new turtle, the gifted. We love it. We appreciate you.
Good stuff.
And to be fair, by the way, to be fair, I was hoping to get stories before. The reason I was partly up here a day early and trying to arrange interviews is because I was hoping to get stories before they made a payoff and nobody could talk, but didn't happen. So
That's the way it works, unfortunately.
yeah.
Unfortunately, that's the way the cookie crumbles.
But you are getting a lot of experience at doing a lot of different things. So
Right.
you can look at it that way.
Yeah.
You know, you are gaining a lot of valuable experience.
It's
like
funny.
you,
It's
you
funny.
said,
Yeah.
learning how to tell whether something is going to pan out, whether it's not, or I mean, just all the traveling experience you've had this year, the past year.
Go ahead, Logan.
I have a really good idea for you before I lose it. Why don't you rush up to her like you're paid security for her and like try and rush her out of there real quick? Like, I'm paid security. Come on, I'm going to get you to safety. And then there you go. Now you can talk to her.
So what you're saying is you want me to get killed is what you're saying.
I was going to say that's what's going to happen.
No. Just pretend like you're security. Wear a fake security outfit. I mean,
I will tell you this because I don't think it will matter, but just to let you know how invested I am in this thing. I was told where she was and where she was going to be and where she had to drive, and I offered to escort her in my car because there was fear for some people that she literally might not make it to trial. And I said, give me a couple hours and I'll come down there and I'll follow you. And it turned out that she ended up getting some other people to escort her in a similar fashion, but I'm full on committed, like to make sure she got there. And yet, I have a feeling in my gut now, this is never going to happen. They're going to settle. They're going to settle tonight and that's going to be it, but we'll see.
Do you think, being that you've been on this case for a while, do you think that money does do something for her and she's going to take it?
I mean, yeah, it'll do something for her. I think, I says, well, it really depends on how serious you take the idea of you'll see the payment or see the settlement, but you'll never live to spend it. So, so where do I go with that? If she gets to spend the money, if she gets a settlement that's good, and it sounds like it's going to be right, and she gets to spend it, then it'll be life-changing for her, and so it'll be good for her. It won't help stop corruption in the county because they'll have paid it off, but it would be good for her. And again, how am I to judge if she does something that's good for her and her children and her family, right? That's at the end of the day, you got, how can I fault somebody for doing what's right for them and their family? I just hope that she's making the right decision if she goes that route, because again, you can get whatever number you want to write on a piece of paper, but if you don't live to spend it, what's the point of the number being written on paper, kind of thing. So make sure, all I can say for her and those in her circle who are protecting her and giving her advice, you better be really good at knowing how to protect her life and get her to safety after that payment, because I would suspect it's open season on that. Now, again, if she signs a piece of paper that says, if I die, the money goes to my son or whatever, but again, if she doesn't, here's the problem. If she doesn't have a lawyer who's looking out for the loopholes, is it going to say, hey, we're giving you and you only this money, and she doesn't catch the fine print that if she dies, it doesn't go to her family. It just it's gone. You don't want to sign a piece of paper that says it goes to me or nobody. Like, it better go to somebody else and they're going to still lose the money as a life insurance policy. Right. So, I mean, and who's looking after her to make sure that legal document is done the right way and there's no loopholes or ways out for them if she just happens to have a car accident on the way home from her payment.
And is it all paid out in one lump sum? Is it paid out in a series of payments over a period of time? All of that stuff is going to fold into this. So
right.
And like you said, if her attorney is her attorney because he's her attorney and not because he wants to help her, he could that's a possibility.
There's the thing I don't know about the law that I'm curious about. I don't know that even if both parties agree to a number tonight, if the judge has the right to say, again, fuck you. No, you guys have wasted all of our time. You're going to trial. I don't accept your guys' coming up with it. Like, is it true that they can do a last minute thing and the judge just has to sign off it and say, well, I guess you both agreed. And I think it is maybe that, like, the judge just literally, if both sides said, hey, we're done, we've stopped fighting, there's nothing to fight about, we're done, he can't force them to fight, right? So I don't know how much power he has to say, I reject your reality and substitute my own. You're going to trial.
And this comment is so true. From Sylvia Ponce, she says, "You do know the case a lot more. You literally went to Idaho, Lee. You're the only one that really showed us every detail of the streets, and
Thank
that
you
kind
so
of thing
much.
matters."
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I appreciate that very much. I'm trying to, I think, and that's the other thing, like, I need to do more of is I feel like I'm a pretty good storyteller and I catch details that other people don't catch. And so I should be out there telling you what the buildings look like and what the smell of things are and how the restroom stinks like ass and how, like, giving you those little details that like, wow, I didn't know that. Like, cause I catch little things that I think are interesting to people that mainstream media doesn't think to tell you. So I should be capitalizing on that and giving you some of those stories of, like, what you don't know is in this county, the fucking crickets are the size of small beetles. I don't know. And I'm talking the car, not other beetles. Yeah.
Was it today that we saw Savannah Guthrie, her brother and sister, go out to her mom's memorial? You guys, that was so heartbreaking. You're muted, Dago.
Sorry. Yeah, it was. I couldn't watch it. I had to change it. It was very sad.
Yeah, it was very, very heartbreaking. It made it so much more real.
That's exactly what I said too. That's why I was like, no, I'm not going to do this.
Real quick, by the way, Sausage Biscuits asked a question that I've been meaning to try to figure out how to do. Part of me has wanted to put an anonymous form on my website, devilsadvocates.info, where people could not have to register an email address or whatever, and they can just type into a form so that you can give me tips if you don't want to have anything tracing back to you whatsoever. It just feels like every single time I put effort in my website, nobody ever goes to the website. So it keeps like, oh, I'm going to get around to that someday. Maybe somebody will use it. So it's interesting that somebody's asking, hey, is there a way for me to give tips to Lee? You can give me a tip at contact@devilsadvocates.info. If you need it to be untraceable, you can use Proton Mail, which is an anonymous emailing system, and you can create a junk email that will never be able to be traced back to you, and you can send me that, and I don't have to know who it came from. So if you can do a little education on yourself, you can send me something from Proton Mail. The attorney representing Sabrina Atkins is called Joe Childress, Childress, I believe. Joe Childress is her attorney. I don't know that you can get anything from him literally the night before trial, but
it's actually Joe Childers.
Childers. I'm not Childress.
Childers.
Sorry, Childers. Yeah. Good. Thank you. I'm glad you corrected. I was going off memory and I was wrong. Shit.
Yeah. And I did put our email in the chat for you guys to, have if you want to send any kind of tips. So I did put that in the chat for you.
I did get thank you, Robin. I did get an interesting email today where somebody asked me if I knew if this was true or not. Never heard this until today, and it's about Idaho. I figured I'd throw that out there for you guys before I forget. So I remember the name that we were given about the name that Dylan loaded into her phone at 3:51 a.m. Brittany Fernandez, whatever the hell it was.
Right. Fernanda. Yeah.
Fernanda. Yes. Yeah. Somebody asked me if I knew if this was true. I don't. I'm telling you right now, if you're listening, I don't know if it's true, but I'm going to say what it was said. That Brittany Fernandez, whatever, was possibly Demetrius Robinson's ex. Does anybody know if that's true, real?
I don't know.
No, I don't know.
Okay. So there we go. Fernando. Okay. Thank you, Amanda. So there again, I don't know where it came from. It's an interesting thought. Definitely something to look into, but I have no answer nor any knowledge of that. It's new.
By the way, I don't like I really don't like asking for money, but I wanted to bring up something that Robin hit on earlier, which is we were talking about this backstage about like how much we're learning by doing stuff like this. Like, hey, look, like if nothing else, this is a learning experience. I learn how likely is it that you're wasting your time because it's not going to go to trial. Do you go out next time out there, kind of thing? And we were saying, here's the problem: someone like Brian Enton. Whatever, he doesn't have to worry about it. He has a whole network bankrolling him, and he gets to fly all over the place. And if he's wrong one day, it doesn't cost him anything. Like these kind of mistakes could bankrupt us. Like we can't afford to fly all over the country to places that don't happen. But I'm thinking if you're in Enton,
Right.
you just fly all over, and who gives a shit? You spend a couple nights in a hotel, and you go to the next scene, and you've got tons of money to support you. So again, this is like lessons learned for us to figure out what is we can afford to do and what we can't afford to do, because it's not cheap to $1,000 in flights and $1,000 in hotel rooms and $1,000 rental car, and then you got food on the road, and next thing you know, like that's a lot of fucking money that we're gonna be a hole for a while. So yeah,
it's a good time to do fasting.
good point. I need that. Yeah. And the worst part is when you're on the road, you tend to eat shittier, right? Because all you do is you grab fast food because it's convenient, and you're like, oh, I got 10 minutes before the next break. I got to go grab McDonald's across the street. So, yeah.
So nobody knows anything about that. Okay. Well, I don't know where that came from then, but whoever sent me that, thank you.
I thought everybody was gung-ho about her being Carmen Fernandez's sister, and I told you all that wasn't true.
Oh, I have no clue.
I heard a lot of people. Yeah, I heard. See, that's the thing. I heard a lot of people guessing that, and I'm like, why are you guessing that? Like, you don't know. I mean, yes, it's possible Dylan could have typed the name wrong or whatever, but everybody was so badly wanted it to be that connection that I was like, I think you guys are jumping at that with like, you need to have better evidence than that before you jump all over.
What sense would it even make if she was? Like, what does that? That has nothing to do with. It made no sense.
Same thing I said. I'm like, if it like make the connection for me, tell me why it would be the case, and then I might be like I always ask why what is the significance if it was?
The only reason Carmen Fernandez would have been important was because I went back and looked at all that body cam just to see if we could see Brian Koberger pulling out or pulling back in the parking lot. That's it. Just to get time.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know this. I don't know if you know this, but allegedly, I've seen it, and I don't know if you have heard about this, but Brent Kopacka is supposedly at that crime scene. So he lived at the Pimlico Apartments. That accident where that woman ran over those people was at the Pimlico Apartments. And supposedly there's a picture that I've seen of Brent Kopacka walking past the crime scene that night, which is interesting because supposedly he's supposed to be living at the Coffee House Apartments clear across the opposite side of town. So why is he up at the Pimlico Apartments the night before the murders if he lives at the Coffee House Apartments? And I'm telling you, like being there, it is the opposite side of town. They're not even remotely close. So if that was Brent Kopacka walking by the Pimlico Apartments where he told people he was living, which was across the street from Brian Koberger's house, it's all fucking super interesting.
Yes,
it would be. How good of a video, like how good of a visual do you get of this person?
It's a pretty good picture. It's pretty good. It looks like him.
Well,
the most convincing part of it too was somebody had a picture, and this is the part I didn't get to verify. Somebody had a picture of him from that night, and the picture was like cropped out and used as the thumbnail picture of Brent Kopacka on Facebook. Like it was his Facebook image as well. And I'm like, so either somebody created that and faked it, or he literally used that image for his own Facebook page.
Right.
So I don't know.
That's an interesting thought. I mean, if it truly was him, honestly, yeah, that would be wild. But what you just said is so easy to do, happens so often that who's to know, you know?
I mean, he's kind of like, at this point, he's kind of like Sasquatch. There's Kopacka sightings at the corner club that night. There's Kopacka sightings across from Koberger's house. There's like, he's been seen everywhere, but nobody can prove it. Like usually it's like, here's a grainy picture of Sasquatch on the trees. See, don't you see him? That's Kopacka. Like, fuck, I don't know that's Kopacka. Fuck off. Like, give me a good picture and say that's Kopacka.
Yes, so Sasquatch is what it is.
Yeah,
just like it. What do you think, Robin?
I don't know if it's him or not, and
just about all of what we just said. It doesn't have to just be that, but yeah, I'm just
no, but there are just so many questions with all of these cases, like we were saying the other night, there's no case that we are covering right now that has any kind of a simple answer. And just when you think you get an answer, then it only brings up another question.
Another question. Yeah.
And it is really true. I know we say, it's crazy, but it is. And yet we can't stop asking questions. We can't stop looking for the truth either. So
Yep.
Well, I find it interesting. I showed on my live earlier today just a quick YouTube short, and it was a girl that was showing that a picture of Bethany and her friend from before that night, and those
Mhm.
exact footprints are in the backyard. So they want us to believe those were Brian Koberger's or killers that parked at the back in the top and walked through the backyard, and that's just not true.
And why is there two sets of those prints? One that goes out and around that's dumping out to the front, and then one that goes off to the left over towards the queen. But like, how does
But
that
they
work?
were both there before the
Yeah.
crime.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know. Every single detail that they wanted us to believe it was Brian Koberger is able to be dispelled.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why I have my absolute on this one. At this point now, 3.5 years into this, or 3 and whatever years it is now, I don't think Brian had anything to do with this, you guys. And I can't even go as far as to say that he did it with somebody else. I'm not even comfortable saying that anymore, truly. And that's just
And
my opinion from
the
me.
prosecution wasn't comfortable saying that he was there either.
That's right. They couldn't. Everything that's a good point, Logan, because everything that they said up to the point of the plea hearing, okay, they walked back. If you realize and think back to it, they have walked back everything. The phone, they walked back the pings, they walked back the stalking, they walked back everything that puts Brian in that house, including
The DNA.
the DNA. So
Yeah.
get out of my head, bro.
Yeah.
Every bit of it has been walked back. So then where does that leave us? No Brian, but the man's in prison right now after being cornered into a plea deal, in my opinion, and they're done. What the
It leaves
hell?
us with clip-on fog lights.
yeah.
Yep.
I heard that's a thing. You can get them at like Shucks for like $2.99. Clip on
Get me
fog light.
started.
God, I hate
Okay, look, guys. I need to wrap up for several reasons. One, I think there's a young man in the house that may have school or something. I don't know, but whatever the case may be, it's late here on the East Coast because I'm East Coast right now. I'm used to being on the West Coast. I'm used to this being very early in the night still for me. But now I'm like you guys on the East Coast, going, holy shit! Like, shut up and go off the air. So I need to wrap this up. I want to go around the horn, give you guys a chance to say goodbye. I just asked for another update from some of these things that I've got, and I don't have anything. So again, that number apparently is being worked out right now. I hope there's for our sake in America. I say not for our channel, but for America. I feel like we need to have attention on the corruption in that county, and this is the start of that. So for America, I hope that something comes out of that, and that it and that the corruption starts to lead to more opening up of the story. But again, how do you blame people when money talks and bullshit walks? So let's go around the horn and close it out with your parting thoughts. We'll go Robin, 1-1, Dago, Logan, and then myself, and we'll close out. How's that? All right, Robin, do I have any closing thoughts for the night?
Well, this truly is a case that I really hope that people will start to pay more attention to, because it is a very important case, and it really does highlight just how much corruption is in not only this area, but there are many places around the country, as we are finding out, that are going, dealing with this type of thing. So the more we can get the word out there, the more people we can potentially help. I still have hope that we can affect change. JJ, he says all the time, if there were just more unity. and it's so true. If we could come and stand together, we could at the very least push back against some of this. But so I hope more people will tune in for this case. But I also want to thank everyone for coming out. And like I always say, whether you're here live or whether you're on the replay crew, we appreciate you, each and every one of you, much more than we could ever say. And with that, I hope everyone has a fantastic night.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that. And let's give one a chance to say his thoughts.
Great discussion. It's amazing the boots on the ground and all this stuff. It's as Robin said, united we stand, divided we fall. So fortunately, it's more and more, whether people want to admit it or not, seems like there's division and every which way tone, and that's how they make us weaker. We have to be united. So we may not agree always on every point, but we have to work together to actually make change. So thanks to all the mods and all the panelists. A special shout out to, I think, Amanda. I think your daughter was in some kind of car accident. I hope she's okay. I see that.
Yeah. I
just
didn't know
hope
whether
she's
to
okay.
talk about that or not. So
I just
yeah,
wanted to wish her well. Send my well wishes to you and your daughter. So be careful out there, Lee. You're still in the dark zone there. So I wish you safe travels and be careful. Sleep with one eye open.
Gripping your
Keep your phone charged.
Yes,
Yeah,
keep your phone charged. Yeah, we don't leave them alone with that.
No.
All right, you ready for a movie quote?
That I won't get.
Well, maybe.
You might.
All right. There's there's two people talking, and at the very end is a third a female. So
what happened?
What?
Did he get muted?
I hear him.
No,
I hear him.
I'm
No.
here. You don't hear me?
I heard there's two people and then it went blank for me. Go ahead.
No, I'm here. Wadsworth, am I right in thinking there's nobody else in this house? No. Then there is someone else in this house? Sorry, I said no, meaning yes. No, meaning yes? Look, I want a straight answer. Is there someone else or isn't there? Yes or no? No. No, there is or no, there isn't? Yes. Please.
Charlie and the
What
Chocolate
is-
Factory.
No.
Is it? No. Nice guess. You pulled that right out of your ass, though. Nice job.
I was going to answer, but I wanted to let somebody else. I knew it as soon as you said the name.
So you said Wadsworth?
Yes.
Yeah. Go ahead. What is it?
Me?
Yeah.
Clue?
Clue?
Yep.
The movie Clue?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The movie with Tim Curry.
Yeah.
Oh,
I love
That's
that
a
movie.
favorite in my
I've never
household.
seen it.
It's a great movie.
Did Clue have was Clue one of those movies that had shot multiple endings and you got different endings
Yes.
depending on what theater
Yes.
you went to?
Yes.
Yeah.
They got a bunch of
Classic.
them in the chat got it. So yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
I thought
All
you
right,
were
thank-
asking for a clue.
No, thank you for the update. I love Logan when she does that shit. Wait a minute. Never mind.
Wait, what did you say?
She said that she thought they were asking for a clue.
Oh,
Go,
yeah, I'm dead. I'm dead.
go ahead.
Anyway,
Go ahead. Yeah.
thank you guys so much for.
Can I get a clue? No,
I
it's
can't.
Clue.
Oh my God, Logan.
Oh,
Thank
give
you
us
guys.
Get your shit together, man. Get your shit together.
Okay,
You can do it.
I got this.
Oh, thank you all for joining us tonight. You guys are absolutely amazing. Love to all of you, truly and honestly, from all over, all of you, every one of you. Thank you to every one of you moderators for putting up with our stupid shit and for putting up with just all of us. We love you guys so very much. We couldn't do it without you. Lee, thank you for doing this even while out on patrol, I guess you could say. Logan, it's always amazing, and thank you for being here. Robin, you do an amazing job putting it together in 1-1. Thank you for your input and your side of this too, brother. And again, congratulations, Cap. We
Thank you.
appreciate you, and we're proud of you. All you guys are amazing that come here night after night after night. I can't get this out of my head, Logan. Damn it! Night after night after night after night. To do this with us, we love you guys so very much. We couldn't do it without any of you. That's a fact. And I always look forward to the very next time we can do it. As always, you guys are the beautiful people. And don't forget to love yourselves and love each other. And don't change a thing. Thank you all so very much.
Awesome. That was great close. And Logan, what do you have to say for yourself? Do you want a clue? Can you buy a vowel?
Wasn't there a Wadsworth in the original Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Like just the character name?
Or no,
without
you're
glasses?
no, it was something weird, but it was a Worth. You're right.
Wadsworth.
Oh,
The last part of the name was Worth, but it was something else.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, everybody, for being here. You guys truly make the show. Thank you, Bianca and the mods, and for the gifted, and Jerry for the Cash App. I appreciate all of you very, very much. Do something nice for yourself. Please do something nice for yourself. Treat yourself kindly, please. Be nice to your animals, too, though. Have a good night, everybody.
Slugworth.
Oh,
That's what it
Yeah,
is.
Slugworth. Yep.
all right. And I'm going to say, I'm going to say a very serious close for the victims of Letcher County and those who may be making decisions and informing people on making decisions tonight. Please be careful. Make a very informed decision. Whatever decision you make, there's no skin in the game for me, so don't feel like you owe anything to me. I know that some of you feel like you don't want to let me down that I came out here. I came out here to follow a story. You need to do what's right for you and your family. So at the end of the day, remember that, but also remember that you need to be super, super careful in this time. Super, super careful, because a payout doesn't necessarily mean that you get to see that payout. So just think clearly, make sure you have good advice, good people around you. For those who are able to tell their story, I'm here to listen. I'm going to be in town for a while and I'll be able to listen to stories. So I don't know what to say. I don't want to give anybody advice. That decision is on you. So all I can say, like I said, is nobody out there who have talked to me and been in my circle feel like you owe me anything. You owe me nothing. You do what's right for you and your family at the end of the day. And then I'll be here to listen to anybody that's allowed to talk afterwards. So thank you so much, everybody, and have a great evening.
Good night, everyone.
Good night, guys.
Good night.